Where are you? Oh, there you are, right there. Sorry about that. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to this infernal place. But never mind. There's not a hell of a lot I can do about it. So, I believe, at least this is my working theory, is that we're right near the end of this DLC. Hello, friends. You're going to be a pain in my bottom. How am I going to get past you? By turning the light off and letting a cutscene handle it. Just like the Los Illuminados of Resident Evil 4, but we referenced that enough. What, the bell? I think there's a slight distinction between a mental patient and a bell, but never mind. Yes, my working theory is that we're actually very close to the end of this DLC. At least it's got the good sense to shut a door behind him, which is more than I can say of your average horror protagonist. Yes, I come to that conclusion because we've spent about as long in this chapter as we spent in the first one. This seems dangerous. No, somehow we survived that. Yes, and also we got a couple of achievements last time that said that we had collected all of the personnel files and interview tapes, I think it said. So, let me just be a little tiny bit more discreet than I'm being at the moment. Yeah, so I reckon we might finish this DLC today. If we do, at least before the sort of rough hour mark, then of course we'll go straight on to the consequences. Now, how am I going to get past you? One of you is wandering away because I've managed to trigger you by being a total dimwit. But how am I going to handle the other two? I need to lure them away, perhaps. There's not like any... Oh, there's a thing here I can go through. There is a little gap. Thank you very much. A little cleft with which I can sneak through. What? Oh, wonderful. May I have this bottle, please? This bottle is going to come in very handy for the doing of stuff and the achieving of things. Oh, gosh. Kindly move your big, pimply bottom away from me. Right then. Okay, there's nowhere we can go over here, but I might be able to sneak around the back of his coffin. Assuming he's not coming this way, which he is, because, you know, he likes to be a pain in the pimply behind. Where am I going from here? Could I maybe climb over that little barricade there? Could I do that thing? Or I could do that, and then the whole situation could resolve itself entirely through one minimal explosion, which certainly makes my life easier. Can I climb over this? No, seemingly not, unless the climb button is not actually spacebar, as I initially thought it to be. Alright, no, I didn't really want to throw the bottle, actually. I was more interested in putting the lights out. Maybe I can use the bottle to lure away some of the fine fellas. What we've learned is that I'm fat, but you know. I already know that. You didn't know that due to the elevation of the camera, but never mind. Let me have another go at that. Maybe I can lure some of those men over this platform. And if they're slow enough, they might fall down onto it. Yes. Let me get the bottle again, if I can get this thing working. There we are. Get my stone masonry demolition degree. Let me have this. And get away from here. Alright, so this time I'm not going to step on the jaws of death. But instead I'm going to try and attract the attention of these fine kids here. And I'm going to run over here. And that will get one of them, but what the hell I'm meant to do after that is a little bit more difficult to ascertain. How about we try running the hell away? And then stopping for a breather, because that's an enormously sensible thing to do, and you have two weapon-wielding wackos running after you. Oh dear, there's an axe here which is going to come in quite handy. But we're... What? Where did those little barriers go? There were little barriers there before and I feel thoroughly cheated upon for not having them anymore. Oh dear. I'm beginning to think I maybe should have done this a little bit more stealthily than I have. What? Whoa, 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 whoa. Hang on, who died? Me or her? Or him? The rigor mortis seemed to set in a little more quickly than it was otherwise scientifically possible for it to do. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Right then. Oh dear, I do love this game as much as I do find it immensely embarrassing to play it. I do find it rather enjoyable. Right then, let me have another go at this. I did get an interesting achievement there. It seemed to be that one of the bad guys got attacked by the pimple porcupine person, creature, device. So, it seems I engaged in a little friendly fire there. There we are. You can't see me. Except that you can. Which is a little mysterious. Perhaps I should have thrown it over the top rather than standing around the side like some sort of numpty. But never mind. And they've gone straight back to having their dinner. Which means I now have no bottle. Right then. This is a pickle. This is a right pickle, as we say in the trade. Okay then, because if I just lure them away with my own wily charms, they're going to sort of slightly notice a bit. I have one other plan, except I don't know how well it's going to work. It's basically going to involve trying to get this creature here to blow up this panel. Because that definitely did happen. Except I can't really blow you up, can I? At least not without the bottle. And then you'll blow up in a really inconvenient place that achieves the grand total of diddly squat. Wonderful. Not that that would help much, because I still have you in the way. I can't break this. Okay, no, I just needed to use a bit of violence. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Doesn't bode well, does it? I can't even figure out the simplest of things like smashing something with my foot. Right, would you, my little pimply friend, be so kind as to screw off and die? Alright, let me see if I can sneak past you. There we go. And then I'll get this axe, and I'll hit Mr. Torchlight over there. And then perhaps I can use his torch to murder someone else. Alright, let me get in the cover. There we are. Now what I'd like him to do is walk over... You can't barely even see that, I apologise for that. I'd like him to sort of walk over here, so that I can strike him from behind. At least those men having their dinner are too engrossed upon their fine cuisine in order to pay any attention to my little soiree over here. Okay, here we go. Everything's going to work absolutely brilliantly. Of this I assure you. Somehow it actually did, which shocks me. Can I have this, please? Really? I can't have the big burning stick of death that I could definitely use to kill people? Well, that doesn't seem fair. Right. We're going 9 minutes already. Bloody hell, that's the fastest 9 minutes of my life. Alright, hello, gentlemen. That's the gate I need to get through, so I definitely need to,
That's the that should get them away from the gate.
Oh, right. Sorry, I thought we were looking at her chin. I was just a little confused how her chin was supposed to help me in this situation, but of course it wasn't.
Help! Help! They're here!
Kitty, aunt, somebody unplugged the speakers the moment I walked away. That's a little strange. Alright. I wonder, actually, if I could lure, one of them away. If I tried to lure an enemy over here... Just one. I don't want like 15 million, I just want one. And I want him to come around this side. There we go. He should also move slowly enough that he falls down and dies. Hooray! How cheery! A nice dead person. That makes me infinitesimally more pleased with life. Well, that's one less to deal with, which isn't much, but it's better than nothing. This lantern is betraying the placement of a sneakiness, and I also spy the placement of a smashiness as well, which, if you ask me, is just smashing. Alright then, let me get a better lay of the land. There's you with the big burning stick of doom, which is going to be a little difficult to navigate. Idiot. I might get rid of you immediately. I'm not sure you're the guy. Well, I'm not going to get rid of you immediately if you walk around this side of the coffin, which is a little mean of you. I'm not convinced I should be getting rid of you, but I'm going to try anyway. I don't know, I've been set on fire. I presume... He's a very cross man, is he not? If I get into cover, can I lose him? Probably not, no. What if I go back through here? He probably can't chase me through here. Okay, let me just get into some form of cover for the sake of generating my health. Let me actually decide that hanging around is not a wise plan. Okay. Well, he's no longer here and I still have my axe, so I'm going to see this as a net gain. And we are going to pretend like that was not an enormous embarrassment for everybody involved. Right. Where's this bell that you speak of? I've heard great things about this bell. The thing is I'm going to have to get away from this bell very quickly because I don't want to be hanging around where they're going to be running towards me, which means I want to just have a quick look around first just to make sure there's nothing sneaky or hidden that I should want to take with me. I don't believe that there is. No. Alright then, if I could pay attention to the game long enough in order to actually see where I'm standing, that'd be a small miracle, and then we can do this. I think once would have been enough. Call me Mr. Austerity, but I think just one will be enough. Let me severely regret that I did that. There's nothing else of interest around here. Is there like any collectibles or anything? Not that I could see. Certainly none that are worth my life. So if you don't mind, I'm going to go through
it's
here.
all right. It's safe now. You can let me in.
Don't mind
Safe?
the axe.
It's safe now?
Yes, don't mind the great big walloping axe. I feel like I probably could have reached through the bars and done that myself, but...
Hurt.
That was close.
He's here.
Finally found you. You're not hurt, are you?
Getting stronger. Can't get away.
We'll be fine, Leslie.
Church.
How am I gonna get us out of here?
Church, please.
The church.
Please, church.
All right, come on.
If only
Stay
these
close to me.
series episodes
I'll
went up on a
protect
Sunday, I could make a joke out of that, but never mind. Yes, that's the church. And the floating lantern as well. The floating lantern? Goodness, I guess miracles really are true. Oh no, it's a hung lantern as opposed to a never mind that joke. Alright, Leslie seems to be moving a little bit faster than I am, which is understandable. He probably wants to run away from that joke. Can't much say that I blame the poor soul. Oh, for crying out loud. Oh no, it's fine. I thought that had dropped down between the two of us and separated us, but no, our bond will go on from here to eternity. That's good. Okay, so this church is where the detective and Joseph ended up after fighting that big devil dog. I've also realised I can't raise my light in order to focus it when we find a symbol. Hello. Do you mind not doing that, Rubik? I haven't consented to any face grabs. Don't remember signing that little section of the terms of service. Idiot. Can I... Yeah, okay, now I can do that again, alright. That was probably just there for the sake of the Sake of the little Ruvik jump scare. But, oh, another thing. What sort of a thing is this? Oh, is this another one of these bloodstained things? I reckon it's that one, that one, that one, that one. Well, that was difficult, wasn't it? Scrap number 8. I feel like we've probably missed one somewhere, and I apologise for that, but never mind. You can't have everything, and given the price of stamps, letters are certainly one of the things that you can't have anymore. Alrighty then. Where is this church of ours? Oh, Giddy Aunt's all the way over there. Oh, that's ages away. We'll be here all day at this rate. Giddy Aunt. These chapters, these 2 chapters, assuming that it is just 2 chapters, don't seem as sort of well balanced in length as I would have assumed. Either that, or I've just sucked massively at this second one, which means I've had to restart it loads of times.
Almost there. Just a little further.
Talkative sort, isn't he? Right then. I mean, you know, in an environment as gloomy as this one, you can imagine why people wouldn't be. Right then. Oh, he's actually going to be able to climb down on his own. That's right. I thought we were going to have to do an Ashley from Resident Evil 4, and I was going to have to catch him as he fell down, which would have been interesting. The question is whether or not. The question is whether or not Kidman here is going to have to deal with those 2 tall twins that we encountered last time, which I distinctly remember this little thing here with the detective. Another soundtrack acquired, indeed. And I've also noticed the option on the menu screen that actually allows you to view those, so we shall have a look at those at the end of the DLC. Obviously, I shan't play them in full for reasons of copyright and things. Hello? It's another little sort of angel statue. What does this say? At 5 came a plague, taking our livestock. What, 5 AM or 5 PM? Pretty punctual plague, isn't it? And with that, many took their lives. At 7, Mother turned to the church, their symbol etched into her mind. At 14, I left. Oh, you mean at ages, don't you, derp brain? Leaving only a note. I wrote that I had gone to heaven. Alright, so these are obviously associating numbers with different things. Like there's the number 7, there's the number 5, there's number 14, and there's no number at all. Alright. So 5 is the plague, 7 is the mother, and 14 is left. Perhaps that means it have left empty, perhaps? I don't know. Can I have this in any way? Like, take this thing with me? Because I can obviously interact with the note, but it doesn't seem like I can pick up the, like I can actually pick up the statue, unless I can just go through here, which obviously...
What the hell? You've got to be kidding me.
It's alright, mate. I'll get us through there in a minute. I would just emphasise that we could just climb up there on top of that rock and then jump over the fence, but you know. It won't allow me to interact with these now, will it? No. Alright, are there like other items? Me and my big mouth.
Shit. Leslie, you've got to hide. Don't come out until I call you.
This is literally just a gender reversal of Resident Evil 4 with Leon and Ashley. I rather enjoy that. Alright, there must be other little statues that I can find. I've just got to do it without getting caught by these most portly gentlemans. There's something of interest over there. I wish to have a look at that. There does not seem to be a large murderous maniac, which makes me inordinately pleased with life. What do we have here? Oh, here we are. So here's the angel. Winged idol. This figurine has wings spread wide and shows the true form of the statue in the marketplace. Yes, I remember from the sitcom that I coined.
I guess you could say I started young. I would sneak into the graveyard, steal the statues, and hide them.
I mean, it's a hobby, isn't it?
They were cursed, but every morning they were back in their right place.
Alright, maybe they were cursed then if they started moving on their own after you moved them around. Alright, that might be the one of the plague. Ox-headed idol. This figure has a cow skull for a head, appearing in Kidman's nightmares. It is a bad omen. Well, if that's an ox head, then that's obviously a dead animal. And they said that the plague was taking the lives of the livestock, so I'm guessing that one's going to represent the plague, isn't it? What have we got here? That's presumably the mother with some sort of big stick stuck in her head, which is less than pleasant. This figure holds a crucifix between folded wings. Really? I don't see it. I don't see any wings.
Enough. When I knew I could survive on my own, I left and told myself I would never come back.
I don't believe so, no. Right then, that seems to answer that question. Now, if I remember correctly, on the other side of that wall is a certain person who isn't very pleased to see me, so if you don't mind, I'm going to run the hell away from here as quick as I can before he has any opportunity to get overtly friendly with me. Alright, so it said at 5 the plague came, didn't it? So let me put this one. Press space to place. There we go. And then it's... what did it say? At 7 happened? At 7, Mother turned to the church, their symbol etched in her mind. At 14, I left, leaving only a note, wrote that I'd gone to heaven. So I'm going to guess the 14 is the one with the wings. No, it's alright. Oh no, that don't work. I'm trying to get this to work. Yeah, because like the angel has a sort of the connection to heaven, and then this one, by process of elimination. Elimination guesswork, and good fortune seems that we've managed it.
It should be a little safer in there.
I like that, not being overly optimistic. We won't definitely be safe, we just might be slightly less likely to get murdered immediately. Where's he gone? Oh. He has gone that way, for he is competent, unlike me. Alright then. So, we have encountered this fine, fatuous fellow. And now we must presumably get to the gate without him being alerted to my presence, which is going to be rather tricky. Especially if he walks straight towards me. It's going to make things very tricky. I'd be worried that an enemy like this might be able to smell me, but looking at the clean-pressed nature of his trousers, I'm sure he is a most well-perfumed gentleman, thus well, not to be able to smell anything over the smell of his pongy pants. This is very dangerous, Danny. You know what I might just do? If this isn't inordinately cowardly of me, you have to admit, if you discount the last 2 seconds, that went brilliantly. If you do count the last 2 seconds, that was an absolute failure. But you could say the same thing about many things, like, you know, unqualified medical surgeries. Alright, I need to at least get to that 3rd box before he sees me. I reckon I could run the rest of the way. There aren't like any bushes or anything I can hide in, I don't think. So, well, maybe those ones. I would hide in those ones. Right. What is that hanging out of him? That is a bit extreme, mate, for a nipple ring. That is a bit of a extreme body modification you've made there. This has gone criminally well. I don't think there's anything else I can really hide in. So I'm going to sneak in the hope of him not seeing me, and as soon as he does, I'll run away. He's already seen me. I probably should have done that a little sooner. You are not the brightest spark in the engine, are you? That's alright. I still love you in my own hateful way. Oh, that's a chain hanging out of you. Well, that answers a lot of questions. Right then. Oh good, we have some potatoes. We have chips to celebrate. It's quite alright, you needn't worry. Everything's going to be fine. Anything hidden among the little Christmas trees? No, no little presents have been left for me. That doesn't surprise me in the slightest, for I have been a most naughty boy, or at the very least an inordinately incompetent one. Right then, that went That went better than it had any right to be quite frank. I expected that to take the best part of the afternoon, but it seemed relatively simple, certainly a lot more simple than some of the other more stealthy bits we've had to do, like we had to hide from that spot-faced lady in the server room. Well, let us get into the church and have some wine to calm down, and some biscuits, or whatever it is they serve in churches, I don't know. It's not really my forte.
Get you.
It's all right. I'm here. Nothing is going to get you. You have to stay with me. There's no other way.
He's here!
Hello.
Ruvik,
Don't think there's any bullets in that.
what do you want with me?
You. I'm just making sure you're doing your job.
Everyone seems to be doing that.
Just like me. I doubt they want damaged goods.
Back up! He's coming with me.
Oh. I hope so. I needn't remind you the consequences for failure. Your people aren't the only ones counting on this boy. You need him to get out.
As do I. We're all their pawns, eventual victims. They killed me. They ripped me apart and took what they needed. I will destroy what they wish to control.
Ruvik? Stop it! Let him go!
He is my vessel. I am in control.
I was wondering about that.
I sense a conflict of interest. Just what was your mission exactly? Do you think their all prying eyes can't see and hear? They've been watching you, kid.
Turns out Leslie was a vampire the whole time.
Kid? You are to bring the boy back to us.
No! I can't! If I bring Leslie out, Ruvik comes with him. We don't know what he's capable of. I can't let that happen.
It's a bit drafty in here, isn't it? Do wish someone had shut that door.
You swore allegiance, but you are not in a position to make decisions like this. This is not acceptable behavior. You will bring us back that boy.
And now I'm working for Slender Man, it seems.
Run all you want, kid. You can't escape. Like everyone else that crosses us, we will hunt you down.
Oh, goodness.
Back, kid. You have a job
I'm
to
actually
do.
expected to do something. Yeah, I was wondering whether maybe the, like, revealment of if that's even a word. Don't think it is. I'll check with the dictionary later. I was wondering whether what Ruvik wanted Leslie for was as a...
Stop running.
Stop chasing me then. Whether he wanted Leslie to use him as a method of escaping the STEM system. Because if he's trapped in the STEM system by having his brain physically attached to the machine, then maybe he needs Leslie to work as a body that he can then sort of implant his psyche into in order to then escape from the machine, as it were. And that seems to have been somewhat confirmed in this bit. Let's go that way. It's a yacht.
We can't have you acting on your own. You will follow us.
I thought employers liked... Oh, giddy yacht. I didn't even see that at first. I thought employers liked people that showed initiative, but unsurprisingly, that's the first idea what employers want.
us back that boy.
Okay. That's funny because it seems like at the end of the main campaign, at least, she seems a lot more interested in killing Leslie rather than actually bringing him out of the system, which is curious.
Having all of you in one place will provide us with opportunities.
I can't trust you! Not like this!
No. She's coming with us. She's my responsibility.
Look, Seb, we need to talk. You're getting out of control.
Finally, with this machine, I can go back.
We can continue the experiments.
There are some things here that are to remain in the dark.
Beacon. I just hope I can get there before he does.
A little hasty with that gun, kid. What is it you plan on doing?
Goodness.
What I have to do.
Oh, it's also called the consequence, not the consequences, but never mind, I put my pluralizations in the wrong place and they've been thoroughly thoroughly misfired. I sincerely apologise. That's nice. I don't know what that is, but I presume that means more difficult or something. How long did it take me? 9 deaths, that's pretty bad, but never mind. I mean, 3.5 hours, 3.5 episodes, that makes perfect sense to me. Right then, there's not a lot of point in saving the game, but I suppose I will for no particularly sensible reason. Alrighty then, so we're about the halfway mark, so that's alright, that's not too bad. The first thing I want to do is have a quick look at some of the things that we've got, like the model viewer, for example. I know we unlocked one for Joseph. Joseph Haunted, yes, indeed. Dominated by Ruvik's will within the STEM system, somehow aware of Kidman's past, seeking revenge upon her for dragging him into the nightmare. But is it really him? Well, hopefully not, because then that means he's going to have died. Kitty, oh, should have used that as the thumbnail instead. Man alive. There's a very good sort of 3D definition to his collar, which I must say is impressive, especially for 2014, but never mind. That's all irrelevant, but we missed loads of other models. I feel sad. My edition of Sports Swimsuit Illustrated, whatever the hell it's called, will have many empty pages. And then we have the soundtracks as well, which we shall listen to a few seconds of and then stop before the copyright lawyers cut my head off with a big knife. That sounded a bit like a circular saw going off, which is nice. Yep, that's probably about enough in order to have me and everybody that knows me murdered by copyright lawyers, so that's nice. Right then, let's go back to the main menu screen. Might listen to those more fully later, but I imagine there's just bits of music that play during the game. Right there, which means now we can move on to the next stage. The story continues as her mission and rebelliousness drag her deeper into the nightmares of Ruvik's world. How lovely. Ruvik seems to be one of those people that just can't have a pleasant dream to save his life. Then again, it wouldn't really be called the evil within if all of the dreams that we had were about sunshines and rainbows and kittens and cake and little happy ducklings that go to buy a grape from a supermarket. Right then, stop faffing around and get on with the game. I'm sure it's fine. What? Would you like to import archived entries from the assignment? Imported personal files, research documents, and completed torn letters from all save games on your profile. I mean, I suppose. I don't think I did do any of those things, but I suppose we'll do that. Importing archive. Thank you very much. Did you have to pay? Did you have to pay import duty on that at the post office? Right then. Aiming a gun behind cover will automatically make you leave your cover point. I have a gun? And also Chapter 3, Illusions.
Do your past secrets haunt you? Do you wish to tell them, but something holds you back?
Come back, kid. You have a job to do.
No! Stop! Get away from me!
Stop running.
Oh goodness, this is positively too pleasant.
I'm back?
Suddenly we're in a well-lit environment and we can see the era of the graphics coming back again. It's the advantage of horror games, they're so dark you don't notice. Goodness, it's like playing the hospital all over again. Right then. Yeah, so okay, so they literally do follow on from each other in the sense that those are the first 2 chapters and these are 2 later chapters. Do you mind? I am trying to sort out my plushie collection. I shall be with you in a moment. Right then, so perhaps this would be a little less stealth-based, a little more combat-based if we're going to have a gun. Either that or it's only referencing a short part of the story. Now go through this door.
No, no. Where is this place?
It's alright, I remember. This probably meant to have been like months and months. Oh, no. We haven't been here for a while. Let's see if I can remember her name. Alright. Do I have a pen? I do, and it's actually within reach this time, which is more than I can say of my average desk, but never mind, it's just because my other desk is larger. Alright, so what was that? 1513, let me just write that down, there we go. Probably could remember that, but also probably not. Yeah, you were probably meant to play these like months and months apart. I don't know how far apart these were released from each other, but presumably some decent degree of distance. There's 15, there is... Oh, you absolute pickle, I didn't realise I should have to do this. It's not rocket science though, you just start with the one that moves the most keys and then move to the one that moves the next least amount of keys, as it were. Alrighty then, let us grab 1. Can I see how many I got in like the archive? Letters. Where are my letter pieces? Research documents, letter scraps. Can I see the other ones? 1 of 8. No, I can't see archive category. No, I can't like see the ones from last time, even though I did import them. Okay, presumably they've gone delayed in the post office as well. Nope, never mind. We may go back to that. Maybe at the end of the episode, I'll just reload part of the game and see if I can check just to see how many we've got, or I'll just stick something in the description or something like that.
Hey, you! What's going on? Where is this place?
I'm afraid I cannot answer that.
Are you kidding me? Ugh, waste of time.
Goodness. If looks could knock down walls, which is certainly a new phrase. Hello? Oh, am I coming over here to help out again? Do you need some help with the filing? I'm not very good at that, but I'll do my best. Alrighty then, so can I explore the rest of this place? Just like we could with the fine detective. Can we see the map? Is that imported from the rest of the game as well? No, it's not. Somebody hasn't even begun yet. Either that or they're doing some sort of speed run. One or the other. This place seems a lot tidier than it was when I was last here. I don't know what this is about my habits. I don't know, but all of these things with sheets over them remind me of playing Don't Be Afraid, which is a little concerning. Hello, Pusscat. Oh, hello. That may have been a slightly stupid thing to do. And by slightly stupid, I mean inordinately moronic. Never mind, I just wanted to play with the cat and listen to some nice music amongst the morgue and the ghosts, which I suppose are 2 things that do belong together.
Society is wounded. People are suffering. Hopeless. Just as you were before we saved you. Mobius can now do the same for everyone. STEM is a machine designed to connect everyone's subconscious, and whoever is at the center has the power to influence them.
And how is that going to help anyone?
Be a better tool to change the world, to lead. Society needs a curator, and Mobius will be just that, ushering in the next step of humanity.
And who precisely are you to decide that you should be the you should be this curator, and it's your will that should be implanted upon the rest of humanity? Did the rest of humanity get an opportunity to, you know, have a say in this? Was there like a referendum? Did I miss that?
We must have that boy. He will enable us to change everything.
I'll come back with him.
I needn't remind you.
I was
But if
watching
Ruvik
that.
leaves with him, there must be some way to stop him.
Well, presumably by hitting him over the head with a large stick. You know, that would be my sort of solution to the problem. What's going on in there? Something a bit fishy going on.
I know you're out there.
I know. I want to have a chat with you. You were interesting last time.
Idea why this world is the way it is? Hate. Hate. Ruvik's hate. The man's consumed by it. He
You said
wants
that
out.
before, I remember.
Wants to get his revenge. He wants back what he feels the world took from him.
That line makes
Who's
a
that?
tad more sense now.
How does he know about Ruvik?
That makes a tad more sense because Ruvik lost his body and his sort of physical freedoms, as it were, both in the fire, where his body became damaged, and also when Mobius took the rest of his body in order to just implant his brain into the machine. So maybe one of the things he's trying to get back is his physical form, and he's trying to do that through stealing Leslie.
Despite our powerful benefactors, with this much collateral damage, it's only a matter of time before people start to take notice. KCPD has been dropping by a female officer. I don't remember her name. Regardless, the police are not something I should be involved with. Mobius says they will take care of it and make an effort to ensure KCPD leave us alone. Then there is the reporter from the Crimson Post, Ivan. Something or other. He has become a personal annoyance. He barely qualifies as a tabloid journalist, writing cover stories about tales of church sacrifices and other nonsense. But now he's being persistent about the missing patients claim. I'll be damned if he is the man who brings Beacon down. It seems that Reuben could be useful for other forms of problem solving. Perhaps I can interest this reporter in an exclusive interview.
Oh man alive, you mean you're gonna plug a stem cord into his jacksie and see if he survives? That sounds pleasant. You don't think that reporter is the man who's in this cell, do you? Because I do remember that man in the cell making points about being sort of curious about like the truth behind Ruvik and all that jazz. So that would lead to the sort of the curiosity that a reporter would have. Hello again.
Leslie!
I assume that every time I do something here,
And he must be too.
sort of every time I do something here, this little gap in the wall here gets a little bit more accessible, and once we've seen everything, then we'll be able to go through. That would be my guess, at least. Alright, what do we have here other than this mural of the flowers, which I remember from before, which I seem to remember was what led us into the memory of Ruvik's little encounter with the lovely sunflowers that turned out to be slightly less lovely, what with all of the death that entailed.
Tricked you into this. But either way, you're mine. To do with as I please.
I don't think the detective's really into being your plaything,
Sebastian.
Ruvik.
He must be somewhere else right now. Damn it, he doesn't have anything to do with this.
Oh, I see. This is Sebastian's room. We are learning things. That's the pale of an arthritic snail, but we are learning things. Alright then, so if that's Kidman's room... I mean, on the one hand, I'd say this is Leslie's room, but maybe it's also Joseph's room? I don't know. Various different sort of people that have been hooked up to this. I'm not entirely sure how that works. I'd probably guess by either an HMDI cable or a 3.5mm jack would be my guess.
Something's pulling me back there.
Alrighty then. Now that we have explored around and got ourselves a little bit more relaxed after the torment and terror of last time. And what?
While it is theoretically possible for a host to overwrite themselves on a user, the odds of compatibility are astronomical.
But the boy, Leslie, You're saying he's a compatible subject?
Yes. And based on Reuben's notes, the stem should be able to run with Leslie as its source.
I need you to do tests. Determine what must be done to make him the blank slate we need.
They knew what Leslie was capable of. Damn it, why would they hide that from me?
Because they're a secret organization that doesn't even show you their face. And, you know, they're called the Mobius Corporation. They're not called the Cupcake Company. They're hardly going to be full of cheery, happy people that are going to be fully honest with you all the time. What the hell is that? It was a plant. I do sincerely apologise. I thought it was something else for a minute. I'm not entirely sure what I did think it was, but I thought it was scary. And that was enough for me to be suspicious and frightened. Alrighty then. So, we're certainly figuring out a lot more of the backstory, even though we're still left with an inordinate number of questions, like why anyone needs a microwave that's this wide and tall but not very deep. Never mind. Presumably that's for,
We had a STEM terminal here, on the lowest floor.
Is that where Ruvik's brain is? No, that looks more like Spotlight-faced lady.
If Leslie's in here with me, he's probably headed there. And that may be my way out of here.
Alright, I'm not entirely sure how you make that jump in logic, but you know, you're the expert, and I'm not. There's a thing here, that says exit on it, so I'm wondering whether that's the, like, obvious way to go. So I'm just going to, poke around for 2 shakes of the lamb's proverbial psychokinetic tail, and just make sure there's nothing else here of any interest. I don't believe that there is no, since it does seem like we missed quite a few things in the assignment, so I'm sorry about that. What does this say? It doesn't say anything, it just has many long swirly diagrams, and this one here looks a bit like a man riding out of a bath with his arms in the air, shaking them around so much. Most excited. Right then, so perhaps then, since obviously we didn't fight Spotlight Face Woman in the assignment, perhaps she's going to be the boss of this DLC that we'll fight, much like how we fought Joseph in the first one.
I can't get through with the power out. I've got to get things running again.
Should have guessed. Should have guessed, but didn't, due to inordinate lacks of brain. Alright, yeah, because I can't possibly imagine they would design and implement a bad guy as interesting as that stocking person, and not actually make proper and full use of her. Where did that spooky man go? I don't know, but he has gone very far away. May I have a drink, please? No, I may not, giddy aunt, since I'm doing dry January or whatever. It's not even January, it's February now, isn't it, giddy aunt? Is it just me or do the years go faster every single year? It's not my fault, they keep getting shorter for some bizarre reason. Alright, okay, this seems vaguely uneventful. Let's see what we can find on the other side. Perhaps a new... You have a nice tie, but giddy aunt, doesn't allow you to be a pain in my neck. Well, this is going to be fun.
You can barely see anything in here.
Can I have this? Is this like a glow torch I could have? Or a glow stick?
Better than nothing, I guess.
What? I mean, it's still basically nothing, because I can, you know, I can see nothing. Okay, so I can throw those if I so desire. I can see literally nothing here. This is ridiculous. Alright. This is going to make for a fun video, isn't it? Because you're going to be able to see so very much. I have walked into a thing that I shouldn't be walking into, and I apologise for that. I'm basically going to have to stare at the floor just so that I get an idea of whether or not I'm moving. Do I need to get back to the light? Do I need to get back to the light? Presumably, try and get it working again. Other than just sort of wandering around in the dark with no idea of where it is I'm headed. There has got to be a, there's got to be somewhere I can go. I feel like I've just gone around in a circle. Here we are. We go down here, we can at least reach this well-lit area, and we can at least see something for at least a few seconds. That doesn't seem to lead anywhere. No, nowhere at all. Not even a collectible. I am most sad about this. This would be a really nasty, nasty place to hide a collectible. Because, you would... thank you. I really feel like we should do some sort of public service announcement about these stilettos, and tell people to stop grabbing them. It's so dark. Anyway, just to finish what I was trying to say before I got my Tootsie grabbed, this would be a really mean place to hide a collectible, because you would have to search for literally hours to find it. But let me see what I can find through here. Also, that is nothing. I can hear, but when I'm recording here, I can't use the surround sound. So, it's going to make it nigh on impossible for me to actually identify where they're coming from. So that's going to be fun on a Christmas bun. Alright, there seems to be a... Hello, friend. Hello? I have no idea if you're able to reach me or not, because I can't identify if there's a thing in front of us. Hello? This is going to be very, very difficult, unless I can just run straight past him, which it seems that I can. This is not as difficult as I anticipated it would be. Well, yeah, I mean, that was successful, wasn't it? You know, you can't argue with results, apart from the fact that we haven't had any results yet, because we haven't finished, it would seem. And I am celebrating prematurely. Alright, Kitty, where the hell am I? I can't see anything. There's gates and barriers everywhere. Alright, let's head towards that. Not really sure. Is that a doorway? Or is that just another little ventilation shaft? I don't know. Some little steps here. It's like the entrance to a vault. Oh, Kitty yacht.
There must be a way to get the power back on.
Well, I hope so, otherwise my eyes are going to really hurt at this point. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. This is the kind of point where I kind of regret the fact that I can't play horror games in a dark environment. Because when you're in the darkness, your eyes can sort of adjust a little bit to try and see better in the dark. But of course I can't do that because I've got about 4 different lights shining on me at the moment in order to try and make me look slightly less horrifically bugly. But which of course means my eyes simply cannot dilate in order to pick up more light and try to see what's going on any better. That's nice, I fell to my death and died because I couldn't see what the hell I was doing. That seems fair, doesn't it? There's no limit on the chemical lights you can throw, but only 3 can be illuminated at a time. Oh, I have an infinite supply of these? Oh, I don't want to know where you're storing those, madam, but, I didn't realise that this was...
There must be a way to get the power back on.
This makes my life so much easier. Now I can see where I'm going. This is much better. Excellent. I do apologise, I wish I'd known about this before. You'd think there would have been a little tutorial on that. Pardon me for assuming that I was dealing with a finite resource here. We haven't exactly reached a point in human society where everything's a renewable resource, so I kind of assumed. But we talked about making assumptions last week, didn't we? And what sort of posterior organ that turns you into. Alright, it looks like there might be a breaker box at the far side there. Let me chuck this over there. I can't see anyone. This is making my life a million times easier. I really do wish I'd known about this before. Alright, let's turn this on. Let's see if we get the lights on. Fumbling in the dark. You're telling me. Where exactly did I fall down? Oh, that's good. Chief O'Brien did it. Floor security? I don't need security for the floor, mate. We're more interested in security for, you know, the intruders than for the workers, but never mind. Alright. What sort of villainous cad do I have to deal with now? Some sort of, oh, that sort of fell down. Oh, fell down there! That doesn't seem like a health and safety hazard worthy of Dunwich Bores. But never mind. At least that explains where I fell, because I was getting a little confused about that. I don't see anyone. I don't see any villainous, smelly people that need to be bashed. Not entirely sure what I'm going to bash them with, but, you know. You'd have to find something. What is that? That is an axe, a thing with which I can bash them. Excellent. I like doing a bit of bashing. Is he the, I was going to say, is he the one that fell down originally that I was fighting with when I dropped the light? Don't think he is, because, there's nowhere he could have dropped from. Can I go through here? No, because this is a glass door, I have just realised. Better a glass door than a glass ceiling, but still. Kid deal. That comment was so inane, it just made the door fall over and die in shame for the fact that it witnessed it. Alright. Can I... No, I can't. It's the long and the short of it. I can't sneak behind you without you seeing me. How the hell am I going to get away from you? The answer to that is by coming around here in a little circle. There we go. You come around this side, and then I'll come around that side, and you'll be none the wiser of what happened, and then I'll get behind you, and you'll turn around at the last possible second and make me look like a dunce. Except not this time, which again, in its own way, made me look like a dunce, because again, I got the predictions wrong. Fortune teller Phil has messed it up all over again. Right then, well, at least we can say that we murdered somebody, which is probably not something you should put on your CV, but I guess you could do that. I guess you could do that if you so desired. Into what? Oh, into the vent. I do apologise. I didn't see this. I can't get through here, can I? No. Okay, so this is just a hiding spot then. Fair enough then. Do I need to sort of go in there and wait for a patrolling enemy to pass by, perhaps? Because otherwise you're going to be a pain in my bum, aren't you? What I'm going to do is lure you. Right, they can shut a door behind them, which is a lot tidier than I realised they could be. Can I lure him back again? Kitty, oh, that's a hell of a smile. I don't think anyone working in an office should be quite that smiley, but never mind. Ah, there's no pathway. I mean, I could climb a baby in its cradle, I'd climb a baby in its cradle, climb under it, but never mind. I'm going to have to lure him a bit further around, and then try to sort of sneak around the back of him again, much like we did before. There we go. There we are. This is working well, I think. Kitty, oh, that is a real Joker-esque smile, isn't it? That is terrifying. That worked quite well. This didn't work as well, if I'm quite frank. No, it worked brilliantly. I have no idea how or why. I don't think it should have. That seemed like more of a glitch than anything else. But I'm not complaining. Blind luck and random chance are the only things that are going to keep me alive in this place. Can I go through here in order to access the... No, I can't. I thought I could access the other side of that little grate that we saw in that other ventilation shelf. Well, that might lead me to a sneaky place with a collectible, but no such luck. Alright, so neither of these ventilation shafts are where I'm going. Where am I going then, other than over the allotted time limit? Through here, I suppose? Won't this just lead me straight back to where we were before? I mean, yes. Sort of. Hello. I hope you're having a nice time. Seriously, where the hell am I going then? I'm a little befuddled. In fact, I'm a lot befuddled. Where did I come in from? I came in from this door here. So where am I going? You'd think I'm going through there, because that's where the light is. Oh, that was telling me about entering cover, wasn't it? Let me go in here. Just wait for him to pass by. I'm definitely not able to get through there. It doesn't even look like there's any doors or anything through there, so... leaves me a little befuddled, so it does. Where's my friend? There's my friend. Hello, friend. Why are you wearing sandals at the office? That doesn't seem like appropriate attire, even if it can't be seen within the frame of a Zoom call. Which has just made me realise that I could have been wearing sandals in every single video I've ever recorded, and you would never have known. Can I lure them with these things? No. No is the short answer to that. I can't. They don't seem to be very, very illuminately aware of their surroundings, which is a bit of a shame, but never mind. Seriously, where am I going? I'm so confused. Right. It would seem that this entire time there was a great big ladder there that I never saw. So, I didn't just spend the last 10 minutes of my life wandering around that place trying to figure out where the hell it was I was supposed to go. And then I didn't have to look up a walkthrough. a walkthrough which plays in 60 frames per second, which is very depressing because it made me realise how much worse my videos look in comparison, because they're all capped to 30 due to various hardware and internet restrictions, but never mind. I suppose you can't have everything, and when you're feeling as much shame and embarrassment as I'm feeling at the moment, there isn't any space for twice as many frames. Right then, should we see if we can find a save spot, please? Because, we're about finished, I think. Frankly, I feel...
Systems were previously shut down incorrectly. Each terminal requires manual restoration. Please be patient.
I will try. Let me have a sit down first.
Wait.
On the contrary, you can wait a whole week as far as I'm concerned. Giddy aunt. Silly automation requirements. It reminds me of what your browser says when your computer gets shut down. It says, like, your tabs are not shut down correctly. Would you like to restore them? Right, that's a very convenient place to stop at least, because that at least means that the video will be of decent length. Right, I apologise for that. I apologise for being so cretinous and not seeing that. I think the thing is that we haven't had a lot of ladders in these two chapters, where, or these two DLCs even. We spend most of our time going through like little vents, like at the bottom, so I'm used to like looking at the floor for a new vent rather than looking up for a ladder, so I apologise for that. I shall have to go and get my prescription updated. But that, like the hardware that could export, or even record in the first place, and then export and then upload 60 frames per second, are much like spectacles and very expensive, so those will have to wait their sweet turn for a little while, but never mind. Yes, so the end of the assignment and the beginning of the consequences. Hopefully we'll get a few more answers towards the story. We still have our adorable cat friend, even though our shirt has finally become most grubby. But never mind, we'll put it through the wash later and everyone will be happy. Right then, I think that's enough random inane prattle from me for 1 week. I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you very much for joining me this evening, ladies and gentlemen. Look after each other and good night.